Welcome, bienvenidos a todos. Solo les queremos recordar que las sesiones las pueden ver desde su celular. Sin embargo, para poder hablar con las 40 universidades que están en el lounge, sí necesitamos que usen su computadora. Recuerden que si no manejan el idioma inglés, en las mesas de las universidades tenemos también traducción. Welcome everybody. Hoy tenemos el honor de tener a unas distinguidas invitadas para que nos hablen de su experiencia en las carreras de ciencia y tecnología. So welcome, Susana and Sandra Lopez. This is our Women in STEAM Inspiring Stories session. So with us, we have Susana Lao. She's a Panamanian with a background in telecommunications engineer. And she was awarded a Fulbright SENACYT scholarship and was in Pennsylvania at Carnegie Mellon University. And she's also a wildlife scholar. She's founder of Mercadito. For those of you who don't know it, it's an app that connects food producers and consumers, which actually won SENACYT funding and also Google Launchpad, Uber Peach, and Sea Starts Panama. She also won the Yo Emprendedor Costa Rica, the Reto Innovación Solar from Unilever, and the LADEA Incubator Program. She's currently Vice President of the IEEE section in Panama and head of volunteers, and she's going to have some wonderful opportunities for you guys in Women in Engineering. So for all the students that are watching us at Education USA, we always advise you on how to write your essays. And this is a good session for you to hear of all the activities that you can be involved in so that you have some interesting things to say in your applications. Here are some pictures of Susana in action and all the awards that she's and her wonderful team have been able to receive because of all their entrepreneurship and all the innovation and research and development that they're developing currently. This is a highlight because in Central America, we do have a wonderful women in STEAM. Susana in 2020 was chosen as one of the 100 powerful women of Central America and the Dominican Republic by the Forbes magazine. I'm so proud to have you guys, and thank you for taking of your very busy schedule to be with us here this morning. We also have with us Dr. Sandra Lopez Verger. She's chief of the Virology and Biotechnology Research Department and senior health researcher at the Gorgas Memorial Institute of Health Studies, the Gorgas. She leads the Gorgas Institute's response to the pandemic, studying the virus locally, which is very important, and conveying information which guides Panama's health system's response. This is very important, guys. Sandra, the work that she does guides the entire country's decisions regarding the pandemic and public health. And she has been in the front line since the beginning. And that's why we're so proud to have you here inspiring other girls who are watching and listening to you. So to make sure that they know that it is possible. And she was ready when the pandemic started, and her job all of a sudden became even more relevant than what it was already. Sandra did her postdoctoral training in immunology at the University of California, studying the natural killer human cells response to viral infections and cancer. She also held a collaboration internship at the Texas University Medical Branch. Her research resulted in one patent and many publications in high-impact journals and prestigious awards as UNESCO L'Oreal International Fellowship for Young Women in Science. And she also received the Exceptional Woman of Excellence Award from the World Economic Forum and All Ladies League. Sandra is one of the few Panamanians selected as a member of the prestigious Global Young Academy. And this is a big deal globally, that she can represent Panama when she travels around the world promoting science diplomacy and promoting international collaboration. So as you can see, because this session is about women and empowerment, you can see that she didn't only train herself and keeps improving her own skills, but she's also a mentor to many young biotechnologists and young scientists here in Panama. So in 2020, the government of the province of Panama also awarded her a medal for her contribution during the pandemic. And last fall, she was also featured as Héroes en Panamá. And for all of you who want to watch it, all this is available also on TV. So let's go ahead and start our questions. I had to summarize their bios, believe it or not, because there's so much to say, and I know them personally. So I know there's so much more behind that. And sometimes we as spectators, we look at it and say, oh, they're so lucky, but there's a lot of hard work, a lot of discipline that allowed for both of them to be where they're right now. But they're the stars of the show. And I want to make sure that they share with you as much as possible. So I'll start with the first question. When did you know what career path you wanted to follow, and what inspired you to study technology in the case of Susana, or biotechnology and biosciences in the case of Sandra? Who wants to start?
I can start. So thank you, Gladys. It's a pleasure for me to be here and sharing my experience. And I hope today we have a lot of people inspired to study STEAM. So how I knew I wanted to study technology. Actually, it was pretty late. I studied telecommunications engineering, as Gladys mentioned. However, today I am not doing that kind of work. As you know, I have a software development company. So I think that never is late to know when you really like something. I think that after I had an intern in a telecommunications company, I had a chance to create software. And there is where I say, wow, it's really like, I really like the impact that a software can do in the processes of a company, or how it made easier the lives or the operations of another person. And I said, I want to do this. And that is what that was the start of my path to study technology. Actually, when I was in school, I wanted to be a scientist. I wanted to study biotechnology, actually. However, you know that sometimes one has many decisions, and there are many people you talk to throughout your life that guide you. And in that time, Panama was having a lot of telecommunications company coming to the country. So I said, I want to have a job that is demanded. So I said, I want to be a telecommunications engineer. I studied that. Today, I still work in telecommunications, but developing software. And that's it. That's my story.
That's fantastic. What about Sandra? What inspired you? I know the answer, but I want you to say it.
In reality, there's many things that inspire me. But anyway, I really love science. So I wanted to be a researcher since very little. Because of Panama nature, and I really love nature, I wanted to be a marine biologist. But during my bachelor studies, where I was doing science and biochemistry and biotechnology, then I learned a lot about immunology and virology. And then, because I was always interested between environment and health, I went to the health field and I did internship. So I think for you, it's really important to do internship. So my first internship is in ecology at the Smithsonian Institution. But then I did an internship in microbiology in France. And then I did my first internship with a small fellowship in the US, in the Salk Institute, when I was 21. So it was really nice. And this is where I really got the bug from virology, and I continue there. So I think it's good to have to know what you want in a broad field. And then there's so many things you discover during your bachelor studies that maybe you will change your path even if you're staying in the main field of science. So I think it's good to be open-minded, because there's still now, I'm so happy with the virology and immunology, but as Gladys says, there's so many other things that I'm interested in, even if I'm not a specialist. So I would like to collaborate, in social science or science communication or science diplomacy, and of course in everything related to women in science. So yeah, so I think I try to be kind of fast.
No. That's great. That's great. And I think it's good because in the STEAM open house, we have many students that say they want to study medicine or they want to study biology, but they're not envisioning other areas within health that are very important and that are very demanding, as Susana said, and they will be more in the future. So it's good to listen to you, and the advice that you're giving regarding internships, both of you, is very important. So take advantage of those opportunities to make a difference. So what factors then influence your decision to study the postgraduate studies, especially in the United States? And how did you feel that particular experience changed your life? So, Susana, I know you're a Fulbrighter. You both have different backgrounds, but if you can share it from your perspective and your discipline.
Yeah, so definitely, I always wanted to study abroad. When I was in school, I said I want to study outside of Panama and travel to another country. I think everyone wants to do that. And I tried to do that for the undergrad studies, but by then there were no opportunities like full scholarships as today we have. So I did that for the master's degree. I applied for the IT, information technology master's degree, and I was accepted in Carnegie Mellon University. And by then, I didn't know how prestigious was this university, and people were surprised, like, "Wow, you got admitted!" And I really felt proud about that. I didn't know that Carnegie Mellon was this kind of university, and they're like top in computer science. So this was a huge opportunity for me. I actually applied to the bi-coastal program. That means that 1 year is in Pennsylvania, but the second year was in Silicon Valley. So I had the opportunity to be there to share with entrepreneurs, to be, in the center, in the city, like capital of entrepreneurship. As we know, Silicon Valley, I met people, I attended conferences, and that changed completely my life. Like I said, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to go back to Panama. I want to do this in my country. So that's how everything started. I went back to Panama. Today, I have my own software development company. I am also entrepreneur. As you mentioned, I started Mercadito, and that's what we do today. We develop software to other companies, but also help entrepreneurs develop their software solutions.
That's fantastic. So that definitely made a difference. That's fantastic. So what about Sandra? You were also in California.
Yes. So I did my university studies in France, but as I say, my internship when I finished my undergraduate studies was in San Diego in the Salk Institute, and this gave me the first interaction with research in the USA. That is really interesting because you can meet so many great researchers from so many different fields. So it's kind of highly motivating, and it always make you try to keep you updated because science change a lot, and it's always highly motivated because what I like it a lot in the US, at least in the fields of science where I am, is that the hierarchy is not so strong. So even if we're highly impressed, it's possible to talk with really high PIs or really high directors of institutes and ask them advice about science, but also about your career. So when I went for my postdoc in San Francisco in California, this was really great because it allowed me not only to be in a great laboratories because there's so many labs that you can choose the lab of the specific fields that you like, and that you have highly experts that are internationally recognized, not only in the US. So it opens you a lot of doors in science around the world. So it opens you doors for collaboration. It opens you doors to meet people from other fields in science in the US and outside the US. And because you learn to do science, we can say, in the best conditions, your CV is strong enough to then be able to apply to other fellowships to continue studying in the US or working in the US or studying abroad. So I'm sure that my training in the US not only give me one of the best mentors I had, but also allowed me to have to be highly competitive to obtain the different awards that Gladys was telling, like the UNESCO L'Oreal. And also, of course, when for the UNESCO L'Oreal, I contacted UTMB in Texas. When they see in my CV that I have been trained in UCSF in California and my publications, of course, for them, even if it was another field, they could, believe in myself and know that I was capable to adapt to a new place and that I was capable to be fast learner and that I will take the best from that opportunity. So I think for me, of course, it make a really highly positive path for me, and to be able also to then impact other people's and continue collaboration. So even if I'm here in Panama, that is maybe not the country most well known for science, I continue to have collaborations with UCSF. I continue to have collaborations with UTMB. And through UCSF, it opened me doors to have collaborations with Berkeley and with Stanford. So, and with US Ambry. So it really opens you a lot of doors in the US labs because they know that you have experienced it, US research, so you can understand them, and maybe the collaboration can be easier, and they know that they can expect a lot of things from you. So for me, it was really amazing experience. And then you get the best friends, and really California is beautiful. So this is another.
That's just added the beautiful weather, and the network that you have. That now with social media, it's so easy to keep in touch with all these researchers. So if you're listening to us, this is very important. Sometimes we get a lot of those questions. What about research fellowships? And if you have the opportunity to do it in a research lab in the U.S., it's really wonderful. It opens many doors. And of course, we want you to come back like Sandra did and keep giving all that knowledge to other generations. So you have prepared yourself and are already making a difference in the quality of life of many Panamanians. So thank you for that. And are internationally recognized. What has been the greatest professional satisfaction so far? If you can just name one so that we can continue, and then maybe we can come back. I know it's hard. Susana?
Well, I think that being able to inspire other people, like that, even that you know that you came from like a very like from a different situation, let's say economical situation, and that you are able to study and go abroad and have a scholarship, that opportunity can change your life, and you can do great things and continue inspiring other people to do the same. And I think that's one. You say one, so I will say that one is one of my satisfactions so far.
Sandra, what about you?
Okay, I will say two because they're from two different things.
Okay.
So I think as professional, I think what for me was the greatest satisfaction is as Panamanians to be able to answer really fast to the COVID pandemic, and to really respond to the needs of the population. For me, that was really one of my greatest professional satisfaction. And sorry. And I'm with low battery, so I'm asking for battery help. Anyway, so the second one was really more similar to what Susana said, to be able to inspire others and to be able to use some opportunities, not only for yourself, but for others. So in a way, I'm really happy when I had the UNESCO L'Oreal for Women in Science in 2014 to keep that contact.
Yes.
So I could put in contact SENACYT with L'Oreal, and then they contact again UNESCO through the L'Oreal contacts to create the Panamanian National Award for Young Women in Science from UNESCO L'Oreal, that it began in 2017. So for me, it was, so happy to see these great researchers having the awards, how it influenced the careers, but also how it motivated all the other young women and young researchers when they saw, their friends having the award. So for me, this was another really great satisfaction.
That's great, and it has a legacy that after that, Sandra, we've had so many other bright Panamanian scientists who have been able to obtain that award thanks to you being the pioneer. Have you had any mentors that have inspired you? And what advice would you give to Central American girls who are listening to us, who are looking for mentors? Susana.
Okay. I think that, yes, definitely throughout my life, since I was in university, even in school, I had mentors. And I think that even they are not officially called mentors, there are always persons in your life that you can ask questions, that you ask them about what to do in certain specific situation, and sometimes those questions or those answers can impact the way you lead or made a decision, right? So I think that it's always good to have people. I cannot mention all the people that had were present in my professional life, but there are a lot of people that inspire me, that I talk to them. They are peers. They can be professionally ahead of me, but they are in some way provide advise me and help me accomplish my goals. And for those girls that are listening, I think that we have an advantage right now is that everything is going very virtual and that you can find mentors in any part of the world. And just to mention, like IEEE, we have a network of mentors, and like before you had to make a phone call and coordinate a visit. Now you can just, I don't know, maybe text in LinkedIn and ask for someone like a question, and at the end it's not like a mentorship session, but become someone that can give you an advice that can really change your decisions or your life in a positive way. So I really will advise anyone that ask, don't be shy, don't be introvert, ask your teacher, ask here any questions. In some way we are mentoring today, if you have any doubts. So I will that will be my main advice. Don't be shy and ask questions whenever, wherever, to any person, and you can always take those advice in some of your decisions.
So that's a good advice. So if you're interested, contact Susana. She's very involved with many organizations, and I'm sure that if you do great work, she would be happy
Definitely.
to for you. Sandra, what about you?
Yeah, I also was really lucky to have a lot of mentors. So the mentors has been professors during the university studies that can answer you questions or guide you when you have to do some decisions during your studies, like which program to choose or where to do your internship, where to do your exchange. So depending on what you want, I think they can really guide you. So there's always look to these professors that they don't only give class, but you can answer and they can guide you. Also, some of my PIs, so the heads of the labs where I have been, have also been great mentors. So if it's good to be in a place where you can learn a lot and work a lot, but also made enough contact with people so that in a way you can always ask them advice, even for now, and they will always there to help you, to guide you, giving you information so you can make your own decisions. And what is really good, as Susana say, is that now with virtuality, you can have these in-person mentors that but you can also reach a lot of organizations, like EEE, but also Ciencia en Panamá or APANAC, even through SENACYT. You can try to find mentors. And there's a really nice mentoring program that is called ECPAPALEC, that a friend of mine from Peru made. And this mentoring, that you can ask anything you want. So about your studies, about which kind of fellowship you can apply, depending of the country you are, or depending of the studies you want to do, depending of the country you want to go. So here we're talking about US. But if you can have experiences in two different places, at least one in US and another one in Europe, Asia, or anywhere, this is a great place to ask. So all these mentors are Latinos from that are in Latin America or outside Latin America. So you can ask them in Spanish, in English, in Portuguese, or many other languages. So it's really nice because the professional is really broad. So if you look for them and if you want me to contact you with them, it's really great. So the mentoring will depend of the person. Some persons will be only a questions, but other persons will like the mentor to continue for 1-2 years. So it's really open of the necessity of the mentee and how the mentee implies and interact in the mentoring. So I think it's good. You have a lot of tools to do like us that was, in-person mentoring or using the new virtual.
That's fantastic, and this generation should take advantage of those resources as well. So make sure that you're not shy and make sure that you reach out. So our last question: how do you see the future role of Central American women in science and technology, and where do you see the opportunities? And this will be the last questions. Our time here is short, but Susana, how do you see that?
Okay. Yes, there is a reality, and we know that less and less women are studying STEM careers. Only, for example, in IT, I think last year, less than 20% of all the students in the faculty of software engineering, Universidad Tecnológica, only 20% were women. So something is happening. We can see that girls are not pursuing these careers, and I think that's like a responsibility we have as persons, as organizations, to promote all these opportunities and careers and professions that are being demanded in science and technology. Just see what happened with COVID, like how IT and science, life science and medicine, and all these careers or professions were required. And sometimes we are close that there are only like traditional careers like medicine or lawyer or studying like accounting, but there are plenty of careers and opportunities only in IT. And that's because I am in that area that needs personnel, and sometimes even we're looking them outside. So we have to be looking at those opportunities. Gladys, I hope I can have like 1 minute to share something that I volunteer at IEEE, the STAR program. I will motivate you to apply to our STAR program, which is open. We are forming the new STEM entrepreneurs. We have 200 places or spaces, to those students from 4th and 5th year in secondary and high school students that want to be part of this 12-book program. You can contact me, and they will definitely can change your life because we will have mentoring and a lot of activities, and it's something that will give you a lot of opportunities. So again, Gladys, thank you for the space to share these experiences.
Sure. If you can share it in the chat, and would students from Costa Rica who also joining us join? Can they also join?
No, that's only from Panama. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Only for Panama.
Okay, but go ahead and share the information. That's great. It's good opportunities for our students who are in virtuality right now, who are interested in these careers, for them to get some exposure, some experience for their essays, and to get quality mentors. So what about Sandra? What about you? How do you see the future now with the pandemic? I know the future has changed for us. You were working in dengue and in other things, and now all of a sudden you're in the front line of this pandemic worldwide.
Yeah, so I think the future, so the opportunities in Central America and around the world for science, I hope they will increase, because I think this pandemic have shown the importance to have really strong science in each country, so we can answer to any new crisis that can be, in this case, a health crisis, but there will be other crises coming up. So I think there's more and more space for a woman. So don't stop yourself only because you're a woman, because we can do anything you are interested on, you can. If sometimes it's difficult, don't forget to use your mentors to help you go through these challenges. So don't let some if something you really like, don't let the challenge stop you. So that's really important, because what we have to know is that the opportunities in Central America are really big, because the scientific field is not strong enough. So you have to create everything in many different fields. So there's necessities in all the fields. So the opportunities are strong, but the challenge are big, because we don't have enough funds and there's not always the infrastructure. So if you go outside, use all your contacts and networks to create new things. Okay, so when I came, a lot of the virology in Gorgas was really already strong because of his story. But the basic research and the immune response to the viruses was not strong enough. So of course it takes time to create a new line of research, but it's not impossible. A lot of researchers in Panama and in Costa Rica were the first. They train the people, and then you create a new line where your country can be really strong. And this is another thing you can think. What is special about your country that you can use in your field to make it stronger and attractive to continue to have collaborations with maybe countries where the scientific system is stronger. So for example, Panama will be all about diversity like Costa Rica, but it could be some of the disease we have, tropical disease we have that they don't have. So there's so many other things, or if you have some minerals in your country that are special. So or the sea. So you really have a lot of opportunity. Only don't let you down by the challenge, because even if sometimes you think it's difficult, it's not impossible.
That's a great way to end the session, and a great advice. So all young girls listening to us, don't give up on your dreams and take advantage of all these opportunities, and go back to the lounge and speak with all these wonderful universities today. Muchas gracias, Sandra. Muchas gracias, Susana. Thank you a lot, and we'll be looking forward to more inspiring sessions with both of you. It has been a great pleasure. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.